Hello, Courtney. Is that Gray?
Oh, hey, Miss Tyler, just real quick, just so this one you be a problem, just how do I resize the screen?
Oh, that. Okay. So remember, one
It keeps,
second, guys.
it
I'm
keeps
sorry.
skipping
I'm
to the
sorry, Courtney.
screen.
One moment. Overdeck has contacted me. Uh, I gotta get back to him. Courtney. All right. I'm sorry. I gotta put my phone down. Um, you want to resize, right? So
Every time I move the tab, it just go back to full.
when you say move the tab, okay, it's better if I walk you through it. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Give me a second to stop presenting, and you present so I can try to help you through that because that's an important feature. So, can you share now?
Yeah.
There you go. You got the hang of it. You did that quick. All right. So
When I do this, it's gonna skip. See?
no. Okay. So wait. You're moving too fast. You're moving too fast. All right. So you see that gray area, that top gray bar? No, where your mouse at? There. Okay. Then no, go back, Courtney. Okay. Bring your mouse up right there. Now, now double click on that area. What happens? Right.
Wow.
What happened? What's wrong?
What? Then this a page that got stuck under the.
Yeah, well, you didn't know that, but you got to check your Google tabs because you probably got a lot of stuff running.
And
Hello,
then do this.
hello, Leah. That okay? So, Courtney, I think you got the hang of it now, right?
So that's all you gotta do is double tap that every time.
Well, you can try it, but you resizing it, and you might want to get the hang of just resizing it. You got to play with it, Courtney.
All right.
So you got that. I think you're golden now.
All
So
right.
stop presenting so I can share the class. Hello, Leah. I think I heard you.
Oh, my fault.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, I think, and everybody needs to get used to that, especially if you're on a computer. You need two screens so you can keep up with the work, right? So let me take attendance for a second. I'm trying to give students time to get in here. It's 2:40, so we're gonna start in 3 minutes. Let me put a clock up. So I was like, they're probably gonna come in, and I'm trying to give everybody a little grace period before I start marking people absent or late. Okay, so somebody else is coming. Okay. Everybody should see what I'm doing. Okay, I see Autumn's arrived. Let me see who else is in here. Yeah, okay, so good. You write this down. Okay, so is everybody in ESB? So we can get this over with and you guys can turn in your work on time.
Yeah,
Everybody's in ESB?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So hurry up and get your screens set up like mine's are. Courtney just demonstrated it. Can Courtney, real quick, because I don't want to move my time. I'm gonna stop presenting. Can you show everyone what their screen should look like? Because I think you got it now. It's a participation point, so if you
Okay.
could, thanks. So present again, and Courtney has it set just the way I need it. I have a 2-minute clock going for other students trying to get in here. So right, you see how Courtney's screen's set up? That's what you're gonna have to do. Courtney, can you just resize a bit and show them just how you resize it a little? There you go. So he's grabbing the edge of the browser to do that. And you can do it from the up and down and the vertical. The up and down. Right. Thank you, Courtney. So you can grab it from anywhere and resize it and just make sure you got two screens. And in a minute, that screen that you see Courtney's video and Google link on, that's going to be the screen we use for doing our Google Docs. Courtney, you might want to drag that tab over to the Google Docs side, to your, just drag it over to the other browser. It's not going to change it. Drag it all the way over. There you go. Let go. All right. So you're straight, Courtney. All right. So find the problem, Courtney. Thanks for presenting. I'm going to mark you down for credit. Who's coming in the room now? Mr. Valencia, is that you? Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So Courtney's screen is up. Courtney's, don't stop yet. Hold on.
Oh,
darn it. I was about to show that to Mr. Valencia got in class. Can you put that back up, Courtney? I know I'm bothering you, but
yes,
you have the
sir.
right setup already.
No problem.
We got
Give me
40
point.
more seconds before people are marked late or absent. So
My computer's still like
tell
it went from
don't
the
make it
hard drive back
harder.
to
What did you say, Martin?
My computer
Martine, I'm
still
sorry.
doesn't. It's still like doesn't work with the charger adapter thing.
Oh, okay. I've
I'm on
reached
the
out to
phone.
Mr. Irvin. Did he get in touch with you?
No, not yet.
Okay, okay. So, how are you connected on the phone?
Yes, on the phone right now.
Okay, so this recording will be available, and you're gonna have to play
Okay.
catch up, but get in touch with them to get that fixed.
All
Okay,
right.
because
Yeah.
all the that's what I want to tell you guys. All the recordings are in the library. Courtney, I want you have student view up. I'm just going to use you for a sec, Courtney. You're going to get credit for it, dude. Don't snap on me. Don't stop presenting. But come over to your page, Courtney.
Google Docs or Esby?
The SB, sir. All right, so no, don't click on it. Now scroll over. You come down to the little scroll bar to go to the left. Okay, you change your view. Can you go back? I was trying to show everybody the library in your folder. I mean, in your classroom. Does everybody know what a library is? It said right there. I just saw it. Because, see, your view for students is different for teachers. So there's a way to see library, right?
You talking about the planner? Oh
No.
yeah, library.
Yup. There you go. So it's on all your pages in the library section. And that's the video of yesterday's work. Okay. Who's talking? Oh, okay. That's on Courtney's end. All right. So that's all I wanted to show you, Courtney. You can stop presenting. I'm done bothering you, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So you guys stop presenting so I can show the class what's going on. One sec. Just everybody mute yourselves unless you got a question. So that way we can hear who's talking. And if there's background discussions, again, this is a recording. So you might want to mute yourself because we don't want this going home to your parents or reviewed by CPSs. We letting you talk, however. So we're going to go real quickly through our norms. Everybody should see what I'm seeing. Let me make sure. Yeah. So that was our time. And I've marked attendance for everybody that's here. Tomorrow I'm gonna check cameras to try to make sure your cameras work because I've been told by staff we got to make sure you're on task. So you'll turn your camera on for a bit to make sure it's functional, and later on in class you will see what's required is you're gonna have to do presentations, right? Because after we get done with the basic math, you're gonna do at-home projects with wires, resistors. Your robotics students. So the camera is going to be very important later on for your credit, and we're going to have to make sure it works later. But today, let's jump into our norms, right? So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Type in the chat. Who? Okay, let me go with people in the room.
Yeah.
Somebody else just got here. So who spoke? I think it was Courtney. Who else said something?
Me.
Me.
Okay, me is Mims. Okay, Hall, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think Valencia said something. What about Gray?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Awesome. Okay, everybody pay attention because it's a participation moment. All right. So when I call your name, I just want you to read out the number on the norms let me move this out the way and move this out the way. Okay. So we're going to go over all 10 norms, and this is for participation. So if I call you, this is me making sure you're in the class and not, I don't know, eating noodles or something. So just pay attention for a second to help your grade. Number one, Miss Hall, can you read that for me?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Can you read number one on the screen? Can you see it?
No one has the right to hurt another person.
Thank you. Miss Mims, number two.
Education in the classroom are sacred.
Thank you. Number three, Mr. Dixon.
We will never behave in a way that will discredit ourselves, our school, or our family.
Awesome, sir. Mr. Valencia, number four.
An Excel Academy Southwest student is always a lady or a gentleman.
Awesome, awesome, always. Mr. Gray, number five.
We take pride in Excel's Academy Southwest.
Thank you. Let's finish it off, you all. This is the academic norms. Miss Mims, we're just going to go down the line.
We respect the opinions of others.
Awesome, awesome. Miss Hall? Number two, Miss Hall, you there?
We respect the culture of the classroom.
Thank you. Courtney, you're next. Number three.
We are attentive and participate.
Thank you. Mr. Valencia, number four.
We have high expectations of ourselves, our peers, and our teachers.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Gray, number 5. Mr. Gray, are you there? Okay.
Yeah, I heard to focus on preparing ourselves for post-secondary endeavors.
All right. Let's keep that at the forefront of my mind. Thank you. All right. So let's jump into today's assessment or evaluation, right? Everybody in ESB or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're going to
Yes.
resize. That's great. That's great. I'm loving the participation. So, because I want to make sure you got everything you need to get it done tomorrow. So you resize your screens, everybody, like Mr. Dixon did, right? He showed us how to do that. And I'm resizing mine to show you again. On this screen, you're going to click on your Google Apps. Make sure you're logged in. You can always check by clicking on your photo or your icon and coming down to your account that you're using. Make sure it's there because we're trying to get to your Google Drive. When we click on the apps, we go to Docs. Okay, now you'll see down here all sorts of things that you've already done, and this will help you on Friday when you're trying to find solutions to problems that I've already done with you guys Monday through Friday. So every Friday there is an exam. This is not summer school anymore. Heads up. So pay attention Monday through Friday. So I'm sorry, Monday through Thursday. So Friday is not a headache to you. And some students know how this operates. So click on the blank. And everybody should be doing what I'm doing.
A brand new document?
A brand new document. Yes, sir. Who's that, Courtney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So click create a brand new document. You guys should be used to this at this point because you're going to be doing this every day.
Every day.
Right. So get the hang of it. Get practice now. Let's name our document real quick. So we're going to call it like we're using. Thank you, Courtney. Courtney ain't playing. Do now. And today's date, which is 9/9/2020. Okay. So now we're going to do our header, right? So that's going to be your name. I'm doing. And I got it side by side if you can't see, because I'm assuming you're doing this with me. If you're on a computer, it's easy. If you're on a phone, it's going to be really, really bad for you. So it's going to be what, the date?
It's really, really bad for you.
I'm just trying to let you know. So period. We're in the last period of the day. You guys are at the finish line. And you're going to put what it is you're studying. So this is intro to engineering. It's 2 periods of you guys. And all you guys are basically engineering students or robotic students. Oh, Valencia left. I hope he comes back because I got to keep going. All right, so I think you got that. Next thing is our title. Now, what is our title? We got to look at what today is. We go in EDSB. I'm telling you how to think about getting this stuff done. And I'm going to copy only the problem, right? So this is an announcement you don't worry about because this is where I'm going to insert the video. So don't pay attention to that when you're in EDSB. Later on today, I'm going to try to insert the video so you can, because you guys are going to be saying, you're going too fast. Guys, we only got an hour. I hope you know that. So with that said, go back if anything's missing when you're trying to type with me and check the video out, and it'll be in your library section. Like you see here, this is yesterday's video of class. All right, so this is the link to get in class. I will make sure I post it again tomorrow morning so you can get in here. And here is the assignment for today. So I need everybody to get here in EDSB so you can copy this assignment so we can put it in our Google Doc. So take a moment and do that. And then I want to explain this little note. So is everybody doing what I'm doing? I'm highlighting.
Yeah.
And I'm copying. If you have a mouse like I do, you can right click. If you don't, you might want to get a mouse from the dollar store or something and get it USB. And otherwise, you have to hold control and press C. But I'm copying it. And now, if like I showed, I think Courtney earlier, if you're clicking anywhere this gray space, I can double click and it goes back to the size I had it set for. So today's assignment is called, if you looked at the do now, it says, what's the kinetic energy? So if you guys are asking me, I'm not going to give you participation points for it because I'm starting asking people, what's today's title? And it's just to see if you looked at the title of today's work, and that's what's the kinetic energy. Everybody see that in EDSB?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you always know what the title will be. I try to make it easy for you all. So let's type it together. What's the kinetic energy? Okay, that's your title of your assignment. Okay, so I don't want Google to correct me. Leave me alone. All right, so next I'm going to center this, and you have to do it this way. Some people are just turning in whatever. If you go back to grade school or elementary school, there was a format. There was a way you get to type things up. And if you didn't do that, especially in English class, you would have a problem with the teacher, right? So please do it the same way. Now, I copied the problem. I'm pasting it into my document. I'm going to pause because I was told last period I was moving too fast. Please type this up now. Do not make life hard for yourself. You know, what I mean by type is do everything I just did, name your document, put your header, your title, and also put the problem in there. So I'm gonna give you about 2 minutes to make sure I'm being fair, because you know me, I'll move on. I will just move on, and y'all won't say nothing, then y'all mad at me. So 2 minutes. Please do everything I just did, and when I come back in 2 minutes, we'll have a participation point moment where you can share out if you know how to share your screen. So get that ready too. This is me purposely slowing myself down. Mr. Okay, Sherrod is here. Perry, let me see. They just said he arrived. Okay, Perry, can you speak? Because I think you're in the room, but I can't. I think you're muted. Sherrod?
Hello.
Okay, I can barely hear you, but you're there. All right. You might want to catch up to the class because this is what we're typing up now. And the video that you missed, the video part that you missed, will be available later on today. So I can only give you guys just 1 more minute, as the clock says, because we end class at 3:40, and we got 2 problems to do, and 1 you have to do on your own at home. Okay, so that's the end of the 2-minute, buffer or time to get you to catch up. Let's try to carry on. So I want to explain this, but I need a student to participate in reading it. So type in the chat. Don't speak at once. Type in the chat, and the first person to respond will respond or read that for me. So who's first?
I'll read it.
Okay, you said it. That's fine. Go ahead and read what I highlighted. Can you see it?
Synchronous problems are done in class. A. Acronochorous.
Asynchronous, sir.
Asynchronous problems are completed at home.
All right. So everybody see on their assignment, when they have it like me on the Google Doc, there are 2 problems labeled S for synchronous, right?
All right.
That's what we're going to do in class. The A question 3 is what you do on your own at home using what you learned today from these 2 problems. So let's dig in, okay? Because we only got a little time, and I'm not trying to hold you guys. If we can get it done fast enough, you can leave early. If we don't, then you're going to stick around to 3:40, okay? So let's jump in. So let's think about kinetic energy, okay? Who remembers from last year what kinetic energy is? Who had me for class?
It's when not like elastic, but like when something holding tension and then it's finally released.
Close, very close, but you said a lot. No, I got what you're saying because you remember some things, but kinetic energy, Courtney, and you get points for that, man. That's like I was looking for something else. You would have got 10, but you got 5 at least. So I'm writing it down. Does everybody see what's on my screen about kinetic energy? And I'll put the link in the chat. Okay, so
Hi.
yes, is that Hall?
Yes, kinetic energy is the energy that it has due to its motion.
That is actually what I was looking for. That's very close. That's energy in motion. So you got it. You remembered some things from yesterday. You was in class yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. How does she know that? All right. So everybody, basically, I'm writing it down. Very good, Hall. I put in the chat. Does everybody get the link that I put in the chat about kinetic energy?
What you say, Mr. Tyler? Can you repeat that?
You got to go to your Google Meet view, right? You should have 2 screens like Courtney did. And if you go to the chat feature, I put a link in there so you can read what I'm reading and have it stored. Because I might ask you a question on this on Friday. Right? So what we're going to focus on is, and I hope everybody got that link, is this equation here. Speed, right? It says in everyday use in kinematics, the speed of an object is the magnitude of the change of its position. It's thus a scalar quantity. So when you talk about speed, you're also talking about velocity. But if you say speed, it's just scalar. So it's a scalar quantity. The average speed in an object in an interval of time is the distance traveled by the object, divided by the duration of the interval. The instantaneous speed is the limit. So somebody say something? Oh, okay. So I'm not going to read all of it. You can read it for yourself. But what I want to use is this mathematical equation. Velocity is equivalent to 1 divided by 2 multiplied by the mass times the velocity squared. And again, I know you're going to say I can't see that, but if you click in the chat, there's a link that will let you see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so that's a quick analysis of velocity, but now we're about to calculate it. So let's jump into it. Kinetic energy, I've told you before. So write what I write. Should be typing. And let me blow the screen up so you guys can see what I'm doing in real time. Okay, and that's going to be, what do we say? 1 divided by 2, parentheses, and it'll change into that, right? But 1 divided by 2 is basically 0.5 or 0.5, which means 50% or half. Multiplied by the mass, multiplied by the velocity. That was our equation we just read about. And this is going to be squared. Now to square that, you would need to highlight the 2 after you type it, go to format, text, and then there is a feature called superscript. Now I went through that very carefully, but it's going to be irritating to those who didn't pay attention, because honestly, you got to keep doing that throughout this document to make your report look well. All right, so that's our equation. Now let me change the res a little more. Uh-oh, some people are leaving. That's not good. All right, so we got this. This is the first tool we're going to use to calculate this first problem. So it's a lot of steps to it. I'm going to go through it. Don't panic. Catch what you can. Go back, check the video, and it'll be available around, I want to say immediately after class an hour later, okay? So, oh, he's back. Okay, welcome back, Mr. Gray. You having computer difficulties? I'm seeing you pop in and out. I got 2 screens I'm looking at. y'all got to stay the whole time because you're gonna mess with your 9-day thing. You got to stay the whole period, and I don't want you guys getting dinged for that.
Mr.
So,
Tyler.
who is that? Autumn?
Aaliyah. So basically, when you tell me to go to the format and then click that, I forgot what you said.
So Leah,
The
okay.
superscript, it keep on like, I don't know what's wrong with my computer. It keep
So
on
So I'm gonna click. You see my screen?
Why you keep on freezing up, Aaliyah?
No, it's not freezing up. Like it'll make my words or my numbers smaller, and you
It does.
barely can see it.
It's supposed to do that. It's like mine. It's called superscript. Now
But
you
then,
choose.
like when I try to go back to regular, I don't know. It just
You
keep
got to
on.
turn it off, Leah. That's what I was explaining.
How you turn it off? Can you do it
The
again?
same how you went to it.
Right. Who said that, Courtney? Yeah, you. Who said that? Was that
Yeah,
Greg? Or Courtney?
that was me.
I gotta look at the people, y'all, because I'm watching the chat and y'all. So y'all, it must be Courtney. I see Courtney. Okay, because his mic is on. So Aaliyah, it's the same way that you turned it on. You got to turn it off. After you type it, you turn it off and you go back to normal. That's what I was just talking about. Don't get frustrated. You got to play with it to get it together, Leah. Though.
Okay.
All right. So let's hurry up because I'm not trying to hold you guys, but I do want you to have what you need so you can get credit for today in terms of this assignment. All right. So what do we need to know? Joules is what kinetic energy is measured in. Okay. So I'm writing it underneath. It don't look like it. And then we have 1/2. This is going to help us later on. I said 1/2 is equal to 0.5. Multiplied by, I'm following the same equation, but I'm telling you the dimensions. We talked about dimensions a lot in class. Mass is measured in kilograms. I don't know if you guys remember we talked about Ohm's law. Resistance is measured in ohms. Current is measured in amps, and voltage is volts. That's coming up again here. Velocity is measured in meters per second. And then here it is again, Aaliyah, where you got to do this. I put the 2. I highlight the 2. I hope you're seeing this. And then I come up to format, and I go to text. Go to text. I hit superscript. It's now a 2. If you press the arrow key to the right, you see that I'm not highlighting 2 no more, and it's small. But then at that point, I need to click on the format again and turn it off. And it turns to a full cursor, letting me know I'm back to my regular text. So you might want to try it out a few times until it makes sense for you. KE is what we're going to call kinetic energy throughout our problem. That's going to be equal to, again, to write this in mathematical terms, 0 or shorthand, 0.5 multiplied by m for mass times the velocity, and then I'll put 2, but remember, in our equation, it's squared. So I had to go back up here and do this, right? I press the arrow key over once on my keyboard, and I turn it off because it's like I'm done with that. If you don't do that, it'll continue writing things in very small text. It'll give you a headache. I'm back, Mr. Tyler, in case you called on me. I was getting ready for work. Okay, well, you need to check this recording and get this turned in like real soon. Like you can type it up, not falling behind. I hear you, sir. You got it at work. So let's continue. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. See what I'm doing, because we got one more problem to tackle. And now all we're going to do is we're going to use this tool. That's why I centered it. These are your tools you need when you go through problems. When you see centered problems like this, you highlight what I'm talking about. So if I have stuff in the center of your document, that lets you know what I'm trying to teach you and use. And it might come up on Friday for a quiz. So just be mindful of that. Now I'm going to come to the side, and this is where I do my known and unknowns and my steps. So what do we know? What is known about this problem? What is unknown about this problem? This is how you should be thinking when you do physics problems. So to figure that out, we just need to look at what the problem gave us. Well, let's go slowly. The kinetic energy of a small boat is 17,879 joules. Excuse me. So if that's the case, it's telling you what your first variable is, or your first known value is. Again, the kinetic energy, that's Ke, is equal or equivalent to 17,879 joules. So we'll come here, we'll write Ke. If you don't know what Ke is, just look back to the center text. And I just explained it for you so we can get through this problem a lot more quickly. So kinetic energy, that's KE, is equivalent to the number they gave us, which is 17,879 joules. What else did the problem give us? Let's look back up. Well, remember I told you in that document I put in the chat that speed can also be called velocity. So V is equal to 5.0, and I'm getting this from above if you can't see it. 5.0, or it said speed. The boat speed is that. So 5.0, and then we can say M divided by S for meters per second. Okay? Make sure everybody got it. Now, the question is asking us about what? That's our unknown value. What is the mass? All right, so that's in our equation called M, right? And that's going to be equal to some number, question mark, in kilograms.
Go speed.
Okay, so far, so good. Is everybody following, or did someone get stuck somewhere? Okay, I'm going to assume that's fine, and we can keep going so we can get out of here on time. So let's do some math on this, right? In order for us to find mass, we got to take this equation here and solve it for mass. So I'm highlighting that, Control C, come down here, and paste it here. Gotta move it back over because we're doing steps now. So this is really your strategy part. And before you ask me, because students have done it to me in the past when I was working at the whiteboard, do I gotta write all that? Well, do you want all the credit? So keep that in mind. If you cut corners, I'm gonna cut some scores. So please just do all the stuff so you can just have full credit and go to sleep with a clear head. So now we gotta solve for math. So I'm gonna take this equation again. I'm just showing you steps. I'm gonna copy it and bring it down one. Now with that, I still got to turn it into a fraction that I can use, because if you look, our mass is stuck with this multiplication problem here. Okay, so scroll up a little bit. We need to be able to solve
Miss
mass
Tyler, you go back down a little bit, like scroll a little bit down.
right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the recording will be available, but I got to keep typing, and the screen's gonna start going up. So I hope you can keep up. KE, and then I'm gonna take this here because I'm gonna turn it into a big fraction that you guys can see slowly. Move this over, and basically, when I come down, I'm doing this. I'm making a fraction, right? Understand what I'm doing? And that's going to be equal to this side of the equation, which is another fraction that we're making, because the opposite of multiplication is division in algebra. So that's all I did is I pressed the minus sign a few times, because some people asked in last period, how did you make that little dot, dot, dot? I was like, that's a line, and that's the minus sign on your keyboard. All right, so come down one. And then we're going to divide this by what we don't want. What we don't want is this 0.5, and we don't want that velocity squared, because we're solving, remember, for our mass here. So I'm going to take this 0.5, which is that half in the equation, if you don't remember. Put it here. And I'm also going to take that multiplication sign from here to there, copy that, and I'm going to put that here. Okay, so let's clean that up a little bit. This is one fraction here. And the reason you're doing this is because you want to cancel out on both sides what's next to the mass. So that's how it should look so far. Hey, I got that Leah problem. That's what I'm going to call it. I got to turn this off here. So now I can move over. And what I want to copy over is what you do to one side, teaching you guys a bit of computer science, how to represent it when you get in the real world. What you do to one side, you got to do it to the other. So if you're looking at it visually, you see a fraction and you see a bit of algebra. So now what can I cross out? 0.5 divided by 0.5, they cross cancel. And then v squared divided by v squared, they cross cancel. So this part, I'll highlight that, go to format and say strike it out. I'm going to go to this part here, and I'm going to strike it out there too because that crossed out with the 0.5 below. And I'm going to take this out too because that crossed out with the v squared below. Now I have a new equation. Let's rewrite it. So I'm going to put, what's my new equation? If you can see it, it's m, because that was the only thing that wasn't crossed out. I see my strikeout is still on. There we go. And no, I didn't tell you to do that. Okay. And equal to parentheses KE for kinetic energy, right? And that's divided by what's on the bottom. That's divided by, and put it in parentheses because it's all one unit. That's 0.5 multiplied by this little part here, which is v squared. So I want to go through a superscript and all that. So I'm just going to copy what I already did. That's the beauty of doing computers. You can paste that there. And let's see, format. We got to turn that off again. And close parentheses. So that's everything on the bottom side. And there's one more parenthesis because it's all being divided. When you do this, some things are going to cross cancel, but we're going to go into dimensions once we put our numbers in there. So let's get that out the way. Take a 5-minute break and power through number 2. So we got mass is equal to, not the mass I want, the lowercase mass. And basically, what did I have? So I'm going to take this part, and we're going to put our numbers in from our known values above. I hope you're following, because that's all I'm doing. Do not get lost. Some students like, I got lost. I was like, all I did is pull it from above, like here. Okay, so KE, we already, figured it out. It's known as this number here. Take that number, and I'm going to put that number here. We're at the point where we're putting our numbers in to figure out what mass will be. Okay? All I did. And then our velocity squared is going to be what? Well, we got to know what V is, and we'll work on squared when we get the number in there. So we'll take this number here, because that's what we said velocity was from the problem. And we're going to put it into our velocity here. Now I got to put parentheses around that because that's all being squared. Okay. This looks good. Now pay attention to how this is written because you got to do it the same way or the math won't make no sense. All right. So I'm going to take this and copy it. We got to do some work on it. Now the squared term here, power of 2, we will check everything inside of the parentheses here. So let's do that. We got to make all this make sense. So this is a power of 2 for, let's just say that's seconds, right? Take the power of 2, copy that, and do this. Then I'm going to take the power of 2 and do this, because that's what's happening to that squared term or that exponent there. And that all becomes squared. So I can delete that. And then we still got to square this 5.0. Okay. All I did is I put it in what happened from above into this. Don't get confused. All I did is I took the power of 2, squared it, right, with the seconds. So I have 2, squared it with the meters. Now I didn't square it with the 5.0 because we can do that with Symbolab. All right, now what does joules mean? Well, joules actually means kilograms and meters, put that in parentheses, meters There's one unit together, all together. So this is like saying M this. I turn it off because I see what's wrong. Divided by S, and that same little this.
Say kilograms a meter, same.
Well, so a joule, right, has kilograms and the meter squared inside of it. That's in physics, so you can look it up. That's what's inside of it. This is how it cancels out to give us, remember, kilograms for our mass. So I'm about to show you in one step how it's just going to leave kilograms. If you're looking at this, this is everything in the numerator. And then here is everything in the denominator. So for the sake of time, and I'm hoping I can give you your 5-minute break, I'm going to write this step one more time, and we're going to cancel out some things. Oh, Leah left. I hope she's coming back. All right. So what cancels? Well, it looks like this part cancels right here. Oh, Leah's back. Okay. With this part.
My bad.
It's okay. It's a recording. It's a recording. Try to catch up. With this part here, these two parts cancel, you guys. So I'm going to go to format and highlight that. And that goes away because it goes away with this one. They cross cancel. I was waiting for that accuser to move over. That's why I need a mouse probably. All right, so that's gone. So our new equation becomes just what? Well, come down one. And the M, that M, is equal to, what do we have? Well, the only thing that's left is this 17,000 and the kilograms part. The rest is canceled out in terms of dimensions. Meters per second is gone with that meters per second because they were all squared. But we're going to take this part. That goes with our original calculation. And then we're going to finish it off because we have things that is being divided by, right? That's divided by the parentheses around this whole thing. Divided by what? That's that 0.5 multiplied by 5.0, and you're going to raise that to the power of 2 because it's squared, right? If you look above, it's squared. So I'm going to come here, format, superscript, and press the arrow key over once, turn that off so it doesn't keep typing that way, and close parentheses. So that's our equation for Symbolab. So let's go through it, right? What do we got? We'll say M is equal to, come down one.
All the classes are recorded.
And then we're going to go into our Symbolab.
Never gonna have time to do work.
So I'm going to put Symbolab in the chat for you guys so you can like use it when you're doing your asynchronous work or your at-home work. That's problem 3. You're going to take a 5-minute break, and then basically what's going to happen is you're going to come back and we're going to power through that second problem. You're going to type everything up and be sure that you have it ready for tomorrow's presentations. So let's get through it.
Can you go back up the top a little bit, Mr.
Can I give me 1 second? Who was that talking? That was Mims?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me calculate the final answer. I'll expand the screen again so you can see everything, okay?
Okay.
So it's 17,879, right? Did I do that right? Yeah, 879. And I should have, my apologies. I need to make this into a fraction. There we go. So it's 17,000. I'm getting this from our problem. If you have dual screens like me, 879, I press a down key and it's 0.5 multiplied by, what do we have? 5, and we're squaring that. So if you come here to this button, it'll raise it to a power, and that's 2 because it's being squared. After you do that, you just hit enter and it should chuck, give you an answer. And that is our final answer there. So it's 1,000. If I could read that, it's real small. 1,430 0.32. And again, this is measured in kilograms. So I'm gonna bold this, and then I'm gonna stretch out the screen so you guys can see. There we go. And basically, you're gonna take a 5-minute break now. So we've been sitting down for a minute. Use this time. I'll be sitting here with you. I can scroll up or down to stretch your legs, use the bathroom, whatever the case may be, or just catch up with what we've done. Because a lot of people say I'm moving too fast. I'm sorry, everyone. We only have 1 hour, so I can only go so fast and so slow. So use this time when the clock expires. I'm going to work on problem 2.
Miss Tyler, I can't see the top part.
Aaliyah, you need me to scroll up
Yeah.
to where? You got to tell me when.
The kinetic energy will you be right there. Right there. I just need that part.
Okay.
No, go down a little
Okay.
bit more.
All right.
Right there.
I ain't got no money. I only got one to do my hair, baby. Stop. 48%. Bitch, what's up? You know what you said the other night? I don't even be on a game like that no more. I don't use TV like that at all. So that's really I don't even be on the TV like that. But nah, like I don't have the TV on all night either. I don't have the TV on at all, actually. Ever. Never have in the past 2 weeks. Really don't use TV. No. LED lights, don't be using them like that. Matter of fact, unplug. No. Hey, I'll just start unplugging stuff when I ain't using it. Yeah, got something to do with it. Unplugging it.
Mr. Herb.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Mr. Herb?
What's going on, Courtney? How you doing, man?
Man, no. Cool.
Hey, Martin, can you hear me?
Hey, Mr. Irvin.
How you doing? I just sent you a message in Esby.
All right, all right.
I'll get it to the left and bring it back. You moving it back. He moving the packs. Nice, baby.
Mr. Tyler.
Who was that?
Aaliyah, why you moving down?
Oh, because we're about to start.
Oh, I didn't know. I wasn't done yet.
Sweetie, I'm sorry. It's
I
like,
was at the last part. I moved.
just check the video out later, Aaliyah. We gotta go.
Okay.
Okay. It'll be in the library section like I showed you guys. Let me turn this thing off. Okay.
Hey, Mr. Tyler.
Who was that, Gray?
Yeah, I kind of wrote it out on paper. Is that okay? Can I just send it to you on SB or something? Or do
You wrote it out. Now you got to type it up. CPS got on my butt about that, sir. I'm sorry. We did that summer school. We can't do it now. Sorry, man. You can write it out for notes, though. Valencia left. Uh-oh. Okay. I hope he comes back. All right, so I'm about to go through number 2. So I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can because we're coming close to the end of class, all right? So if you have questions, try to hold them and just review the video and reach out to me on Edsby. But I want to make sure you have this part, so all you got to worry about is 3A. So with this one, you need to find the speed, right? So if we read the question, I don't want to take no time trying to read it because we had 9 minutes to do this problem. But basically, you're taking the same equation from above in your strategy section, right? From the first problem. And then, welcome back, Mr. Valencia. Okay, you got it working. I was like, uh-oh. I'm doing the next problem. So we're taking this equation, and now it's asking for the speed. So what we want to do is we want to set it up as a fraction because you see speed is right here as velocity squared. So what I want to do is kinetic energy is equal to, and I want to make a fraction, right? And the same situation is going to happen. In fact, let me just do this because it's quicker. Come up here to this setup that I did for you guys a long time ago. We're just going to change it a little bit. So the same procedure, I'm using algebra. We're not solving for mass here, but we're solving for the velocity squared. So if I want to do that, I'm going to make sure I take the things that I crossed out away. It's going to change it a bit because it'll help you understand what to do next. So just bear with me as I reverse some changes. Okay. I'll turn that off though. There we go. And I'm solving for velocity squared. So we're back to square one. Velocity squared is not here anymore. Or now velocity squared, we're solving for velocity. I'm doing the math first because we could put the numbers in last. We only had 7 more minutes before I gotta let you guys go. So what we're solving for here is the speed. So we're gonna divide by the mass and the 0.5 on both sides. Now what cancels in this situation? I just did the same algebra in the previous problem, and you can check the video if you're not sure. And I'm crossing out what's on the bottom. So I'm gonna cross that out. And I'm gonna cross this out, therefore leaving only the velocity squared. Okay, now if you're confused about that after class, you can see me and I can go through it again slowly. So what is our next equation now? Oh, this is velocity squared. Copy that and put this here. And now I have to rewrite the equation because it changes now, right? So it becomes equal to what we have here, which is KE divided by the 0.5 times the mass. So let me write that out for you. So it's going to be KE, or K dot E for kinetic energy, divided by, in parentheses, because it's all in the denominator or the bottom of the fraction, 0.5 times the mass. All right, so far so good. But we still don't have velocity by itself, and that's what this is asking for. So let me come here and put this for you. Let's set up our known and unknowns. Known values. and unknown. So you know where I'm getting all this stuff from. We plug it in. Well, what do we know? Well, they gave us our speed, right? No, they didn't. No, they're asking for our speed. I'm sorry. They gave us our mass. So M is little m equal to 0.22 kilograms. Okay, it's helping me out. There we go. And then we have what else they gave us? The KE, or kinetic energy, is equal to 72 joules. What's unknown about the problem, and what the problem is asking you, is what is the speed, and that's velocity by itself. So now you're seeing why I'm like, oh, we don't have what we need yet. So going to the next steps, coming down a bit, back where we were, you see we have v squared and not just v. All right, well, we can fix that by simply using a mathematical tool called square root. Put this here. And then what I have to do is I'm going to put this in parentheses. And turn that off here. And the same thing is true for over here, because I'm square rooting, as algebra says, both sides of the equation to fix it. To put a square root in there, you hit insert, and then the equation, you hit special characters. You click on special characters and a menu shows up like this. You click on the section that tells you what you're looking for and go to math, not arrows. And if I type square, I can find a symbol for square root. There it is. I only type SQU and there's a square root. Okay, so I'm gonna click on that because that's the one I want to use. Oh, I clicked it twice, sorry. And I'll take this one with me. And I'm putting it here. And what you do to one side, you got to do to the other side of the equal sign. That gives us a new equation that looks like this. And what do we have? Right? So if we come here, the square root will stay here, but it will change this to just v, because the square root and the power of 2 will cancel each other out. All right, so I want you to finish the problem off by putting it in. Like, you take the values, calculate it out, and get the final answer the same way I did. This is the part where I want you to practice. And we'll see tomorrow who has the final answer. We only have 2 minutes left class. There's a few more steps, but I think you guys are capable of doing it. So work on that. And then don't forget you have an asynchronous problem. If there's no questions, you're free to go and enjoy the rest of your day. But remember, tomorrow I'm going to be asking you to present, so you got to have this stuff typed up. Check out the videos. They'll be available around 5 p.m. Any questions? Y'all quiet. Hello? Aaliyah, Autumn, Courtney. Who's there?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
What I was gonna say. So you saying that the video is not going to be in the library till 5 o'clock?
Well, it might be sooner, Aaliyah, because I'm just saying that. So worst case scenario, 4:30.
Okay.
But it takes about an hour to load everything, so that's the only reason why.
Okay.
Any other questions? Anybody? Because it's about time for y'all to log off and get started.
We got another class or no?
No, that's the end of the day. You're asynchronous now. You're done with school.
Right.
Get the homework done.
All right.
All right. Mr. Valencia, did you have a question or are you just hanging out?